Our world is now home to more than 8 billion people, and there's a single country that hosts more than 1.4 billion of us: China. As the second most populous and the second largest economy on Earth, this country needs no introduction. With over 5,000 years of history, China has been thriving both economically and culturally since the beginning of civilization. It's no wonder, then, that some of the most surprising and world-shaking discoveries have come from this country, challenging what we thought we knew. With a landmass covering about 1/14 of the Earth's surface, China is home to thousand-year-old mysteries that scientists are still trying to crack. This country is so massive it could nearly cover the entire continent of Europe. As massive as the country is currently now, it still is one with the most territorial disputes. As a matter of fact, your view of China might depend on where you're from. If you're from a country with territorial disputes with this country, you might see it as a formidable rival. For instance, its actions against Taiwan, its claims over the Senkaku Islands with Japan, and its aggressive stance in the South China Sea against the Philippines, Vietnam, and other Southeast Asian nations have been grabbing international headlines and stirring up tensions. On the other hand, for countries that benefit from China's aid and investments, the nation might be seen as a powerful ally. Between 2000 and 2021, China provided a whopping $1.34 trillion in grants and loans for over 20,000 projects across 165 low- and middle-income countries. Many believe this is part of China's strategy to expand its global influence and solidify its presence on the world stage. No matter how you view China, one thing is undeniable. This colossal country has given humanity some of its most groundbreaking innovations, spanning from ancient times to today. Just a sample of these are the legendary 4 great inventions: the compass, gunpowder, paper making, and printing. These technologies, which revolutionized the world, only made their way to Europe by the end of the Middle Ages, nearly 1,000 years after. But China's role in advancing human progress doesn't end there. This country is also home to some of the most groundbreaking archaeological discoveries that have shattered the scientific community due to its implications. Let's now dive into these fascinating and mysterious finds, shall we? Sinking land crisis. China is facing a grim crisis. The land beneath their feet is sinking. A new study reveals that nearly half of China's urban areas are sinking faster than 3 millimeters per year, affecting 29% of the country's population. That's 406 million people living on slowly sinking ground. Even more alarming is that 16% of urban areas are losing more than 10 millimeters of elevation per year, meaning 67 million people are rapidly sinking. While these numbers may seem negligible compared to its total population, they add up quickly. In 100 years, a quarter of China's coastal land could sit below sea level. You might wonder, with all the highly developed infrastructures in this country, what's causing this phenomenon? Well, there are 2 main factors at play. First, infrastructure itself. China has 600 million buildings, and their sheer weight is pressing down on the ground. Second, groundwater depletion. Cities are excessively pumping water from underground, creating hollow spaces that cause the land to sink. A report on the country's water problems estimates that 70% of the population relies on groundwater as their main source of drinking water, and 40% of its farmland depends on groundwater for irrigation. The issue of land subsidence in the country is more than just a slow sinking. It can result in abrupt collapses. This harsh reality became all too clear in Tianjin when massive cracks split the streets, compelling thousands of residents to evacuate their homes. This city is one of the fastest sinking places in China, but it's not alone. Beijing, the capital, and Shanghai, a major center for finance and manufacturing, are also among the worst-hit areas. But surely Xi Jinping is not sitting idly by. Beijing has introduced new laws to control groundwater pumping, and Shanghai, along with its surrounding areas, has been actively limiting water withdrawal. Despite these efforts, many other cities have not received the same level of attention. While China's coastal regions have constructed physical barriers to help retain water, the problem of sinking land extends much further inland. Urban cities, some of which are sinking even faster than coastal areas, urgently need similar attention and measures. The question is, Will they be able to rise above this sinking land crisis? World's deepest holes. China is known for shattering insane world records, and now they're aiming to break one underground. Literally, they're planning to dig some of the world's deepest holes. But what motivates them? Is this a true exploration that could revolutionize our understanding of the planet? Or are they on the hunt for the next precious finite resource? In southwest China's Sichuan Basin, some of the country's top engineers are undertaking an incredible feat, digging a hole over 30,000 feet deep, about 9,000 meters. That's deeper than any ocean and taller than Mount Everest. Meanwhile, in the northwest Tarim Basin, they're starting another project aiming to go even deeper, 36,000 feet, or around 11,000 meters, which is 0.9% of Earth's diameter. If they succeed, these will be among the deepest holes ever dug by humans. So why is China digging so deep? They have two main goals. First, it's all about scientific exploration. Imagine the Earth's crust as a timeline of our planet's history, with each layer revealing a different part of the story. By drilling into these layers, they're uncovering Earth's secrets bit by bit. This could provide essential data for geoscience research, giving us a better understanding of Earth's structure and evolution. This project might not only change what we know about science, but also help us understand environmental risks better. By examining the deep layers, scientists can learn more about hazards like earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, helping us prepare for them more effectively. The second goal is not surprising. It's commercial. Deep beneath the surface, there may be valuable energy reserves. If China can access these resources, it could secure a vital energy source to fuel its future growth. China has just announced a major milestone with regards to this endeavor. They've already reached 10,000 meters in their drilling project, but the journey is about to get even tougher. As they go deeper, they'll face extreme challenges like temperatures soaring above 200 degrees Celsius and formation pressures exceeding 130 megapascals. With each additional meter, the difficulty will increase exponentially. However, this isn't the first time such an ambitious endeavor has been attempted, nor is it the deepest hole ever dug. That record belongs to Russia's Kola superdeep borehole. Begun in 1970, it reached a depth of 12,230 meters by 1989, but drilling ceased in 1992. The project faced extreme temperatures of 180 degrees Celsius, and with the collapse of the Soviet Union, it was abandoned 3 years later. The United States and Germany have also tried their hand at deep drilling. The U.S. kicked off Project Mohole in the early 1960s, but it got shut down because of skyrocketing costs. Germany gave it a go in 1990, but their project didn't last long either. Will China succeed where others have failed? Only time will tell. Mysterious lost civilization. On the fringe of the Mu'us Desert in northern Shanxi province, ancient stone walls rise from the landscape. For years, villagers thought these remnants were part of the Great Wall, but when archaeologists examined them intensively, they unearthed a hidden treasure, something far older and infinitely more complex than anyone had imagined. It was then revealed to experts that they've unearthed the lost city of Shimao. Excavations revealed more than 6 miles of defensive walls encircling a 230-foot-high pyramid. Inside the heart of the pyramid, they uncovered painted murals, jade artifacts, and grim evidence of human sacrifice. Carbon dating revealed that this site dates back 4,300 years, nearly 2,000 years earlier than the oldest section of the Great Wall. The discovery of the site left archaeologists baffled, as Chinese civilization was believed to have first emerged in the Central Plains around 500 years after Shimao's founding. The most fascinating aspect is that this once powerful kingdom was entirely absent from ancient textual records. No ancient manuscripts guiding Chinese archaeology mentioned this sophisticated city. To say that this civilization had an advanced architectural know-how would be an understatement. They constructed an elongated pyramid with 20 levels atop the highest hill in the area, providing protection against more aggressive adversaries. This tower, visible from every vantage point in the city, stands about half as tall as the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt, which was built around the same period in 2250 BC. However, Shimao's base is 4 times larger. To protect themselves further, Shimao's elites inhabited the top tier of the pyramid, which included a 20-acre palatial complex with a water reservoir, craft workshops, and likely ritual temples. This provided an additional layer of security for the Shimao aristocracy. The most gruesome discovery at Shimao was found beneath the city's eastern wall, where 80 human skulls were grouped in 6 separate pits, all without skeletons. 2 pits near the east gate, the primary entry to the city, contained exactly 24 skulls each. This arrangement suggests a ritual beheading during the laying of the wall's foundation, marking the oldest known instance of human sacrifice in Chinese history. Forensic scientists determined that nearly all the victims were young girls, likely prisoners from an opposing faction. Despite the remarkable complexity and artistry of this ancient civilization, it was abruptly and mysteriously abandoned. Fortunately, some clues help unravel this puzzle. It wasn't an earthquake, flood, or plague. While a war might have driven them away, scientists believe climate change played a pivotal role. Historical records point to a rapid shift to a drier and cooler climate between 2000 and 1700 BC. Lakes dried up, forests disappeared, and deserts expanded. These factors compelled the Shimao people to migrate to unknown regions, leaving behind a legacy that would be admired and studied for generations. Mysterious hanging coffins. In the remote hills of southwest China, there are objects hanging precariously to cliffs, leading to one of China's greatest mysteries. These are said to be coffins left by the mysterious Bo tribe, who were brutally wiped out. Along with their sudden disappearance, the secrets of their unique burial practices vanished. 3,000 years ago, the Bo people thrived in the Sichuan and Yunnan provinces. Yet, their story is scarcely recorded in history. Fast forward to 1573, around 450 years ago, when the Ming dynasty rose to power in China. The Ming Imperial Army launched a brutal campaign, exterminating all known members of the Bo tribe. However, some say a few Bo managed to escape, fleeing to neighboring regions. To avoid detection, they changed their names and blended into local populations. The hanging coffins of this tribe have puzzled researchers for years, leaving them searching for answers. These ancient coffins aren't limited to just one cliff, but are scattered across numerous small and large cliffs, hanging at dizzying heights of 100 to 400 feet. So far, 131 of these mysterious hanging coffins have been discovered, some dating back over 3,000 years. These coffins also come in a variety of shapes and sizes, but most are remarkable for being crafted from a single piece of wood. Many of these coffins originally had bronze covers and were left unpainted. They rest on beams driven into the cliffside, are placed on projecting outcrops of rock, or are tucked away in high, seemingly inaccessible caves. The task of scaling such heights on limestone cliffs, setting up wooden planks, and lifting these several 100-kilogram coffins would be daunting even with today's modern equipment. So, how was it done thousands of years ago? Could it be, as legend has it, that they had the ability to fly? It seems we don't have any flying tribe people after all. Researchers have made significant progress in solving this mystery. They now believe it's very likely that the coffins were lowered using ropes from above. This theory is supported by telltale rope marks found on the cliffs. Whether or not we've truly unlocked the mystery behind the Bo people's unique burial practices, one thing remains clear. The creativity and ingenuity of this ancient tribe are undeniable. The mightiest primates. 2 million years ago, southern China was a paradise for apes. Among these primates was the largest the world has ever seen, Gigantopithecus blacki, affectionately known as Giganto. Living up to its name, this colossal primate stood about 3 meters tall and weighed around 250 kilograms. However, around 200,000 years ago, Giganto suddenly vanished, leaving behind one of the greatest unresolved mysteries in paleontology. The most intriguing aspect of this colossal ape is the scarcity of its fossil record, represented by only a few thousand teeth and 4 jawbones. Remarkably, nothing from the neck down has ever been found. Experts are eagerly searching for Giganto bones below the neck, as these discoveries would provide paleontologists with a much clearer understanding of Giganto's size, appearance, and even how it walked. Adding to the puzzle is the sudden disappearance of Gigantopithecus from the fossil record at a time when other primates were flourishing. Where did these giants go, and what led to their downfall? One prominent theory suggests that Giganto went extinct because it couldn't adapt as the forests started to decline. When their preferred fruit-bearing plants became scarce, they made the fatal mistake of relying on less nutritious foods like twigs and bark. This limited their diet and, coupled with their large and less mobile bodies, restricted their foraging range. Unlike the agile orangutans that could move across vast areas in search of food, Giganto struggled to find sustenance, leading to their eventual demise. The story of this mighty ape's extinction teaches us a powerful lesson about the importance of adaptability, no matter how strong you are. It's a lesson we must take to heart as we confront the looming threat of the sixth mass extinction. Hyper-realistic robots. In today's modern world, robots are everywhere. But in the northeastern coastal city of Dalian, China, something truly remarkable is happening at the X-Robots factory. Engineers there are crafting the next generation of humanoid robots, with a special focus on perfecting facial expressions and emotional responses. These robots can precisely mimic head movements, smiles, and other facial reactions. This extraordinary mimicry is made possible by tiny motors strategically placed within the robots' heads, allowing them to replicate human expressions with stunning accuracy. If you think that's impressive, just wait until you hear what the engineers are working on next. They're harnessing artificial intelligence to enable these robots to recognize and express emotions, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in robotics. The developers at the factory assert that humanoid robots represent the most complex category of robotic products. Convinced to buy one? Well, it comes at a hefty price. Building one of these advanced machines can take anywhere from 2 weeks to a month, with a staggering price of $200,000. Engineers of these marvels believe that these humanoid robots would play crucial roles in healthcare, education, psychological counseling, and various other industries, transforming the way we interact with technology and enhancing our daily lives in unprecedented ways. While many see humanoid robots as the future of human-machine collaboration, there are growing concerns about their prevalence. The fear extends beyond robots taking over people's jobs. It touches on something more troubling, straight out of science fiction, their potential to misbehave. What if those sci-fi scenarios come true, where lifelike robots with advanced abilities end up causing harm if they malfunction or get misused? This scary thought shows why tech companies need to do more than just make robots that mimic humans. They must also ensure these humanoid robots are used responsibly, safeguarding against any potential threats. Unopened tomb of the first emperor. In 1974, farmers made a remarkable archaeological find in a seemingly ordinary field in Shanxi province. As they dug, they uncovered clay fragments depicting a human figure, which turned out to be just the beginning. Subsequent archaeological excavations revealed that the field concealed a series of pits containing a vast assembly of life-sized terracotta figures, including soldiers, war horses, acrobats, esteemed officials, and various other animals. This turned out to be one of the most significant discoveries in the history of archaeology. The vast terracotta army was found to be guarding the nearby mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang. Born on February 18, 259 BC, this powerful emperor took control of his kingdom at just 22 years old. Leading formidable armies, he conquered the 6 remaining independent kingdoms of the late Warring States period, unifying China in 221 BC. In doing so, he ended centuries of political turmoil, constant warfare, and relentless bloodshed. Known for his relentless pursuit of immortality, the emperor had ambitious visions for his life beyond. Striving to solidify his status as a cosmic ruler in the afterlife, he ordered the creation of an entire realm to accompany him into the next world, an unparalleled endeavor. Situated at the heart of his tomb, the opulent mausoleum of the emperor is believed to have contained a kingdom of abundant treasures for the life after, concealed and protected by his now globally renowned terracotta army. Although extensive portions of the necropolis surrounding the mausoleum have been excavated and studied, the tomb of the emperor himself remains sealed. Despite the immense curiosity and speculation surrounding it, no one has seen this tomb for over 2 millennia, ever since the powerful emperor was laid to rest within its walls. Much of our knowledge about this tomb comes from the ancient historian Sima Qian, who wrote about it 2 centuries after its construction. According to him, the mausoleum took 700,000 men almost 4 decades to build. He described how the craftsmen who constructed the mechanical devices and knew the secrets of the tomb were trapped inside to ensure they could not divulge its treasures. After the funeral ceremonies, the inner passageway was blocked, and the outer gate was lowered, trapping the workers and craftsmen inside forever. The tomb is said to be filled with rare artifacts and priceless treasures, with rivers of pure mercury allegedly flowing through the recreated city. Opening the tomb is believed to pose immediate, life-threatening dangers, as it is rumored to be rigged with traps designed to eliminate intruders. Even if these traps fail, the most formidable threat is a flood of toxic liquid mercury that could engulf anyone attempting to excavate the site. While this might seem like an empty warning, scientific investigations have measured mercury levels around the tomb and found concentrations significantly higher than those typically found in ordinary soil. Thus, the mystery surrounding the emperor's tomb remains intact to this day. Perhaps future technological advancements will enable us to study the site more closely while still honoring its sanctity. Mysterious megalithic caves. In June 1994, 4 farmers in Longyou, Zhejiang Province, China, made an astonishing discovery at Fenghuang Hill, a series of 24 vast man-made caverns, now known as the Longyou Caves. So extraordinary are these structures that some consider them the 9th wonder of the ancient world. Each of these mysterious caves covers more than 1,000 square feet. The 5 large caverns, distinct from each other, range in size from 18 to 34 meters and reach up to 20 meters in height. Each features supporting pillars and uniquely curved shapes, with striking ripple-like imprints marking the walls and ceilings. The most fascinating aspect of these caves is the uniform tool marks on the walls, each angled precisely at 60 degrees. Such consistency suggests the use of advanced machinery or extraordinarily precise manual labor. This leads to intriguing questions. Who built these massive structures, and for what purpose? Addressing these questions baffled scientists, as there are no historical records, inscriptions, tools, or human remains to provide clues. This lack of evidence has fueled a range of theories, suggesting everything from advanced ancient civilizations to extraterrestrial involvement. When you visit the site, one thing that would readily come into your mind is the massive debris or spoil heaps as a result of excavating these caverns. Yet, the sheer volume of rock that must have been removed is mysteriously absent, with no trace of it to be found anywhere. As you wander through the ancient ruins, you can't help but wonder where all that rock went. Adding to the mystery, the caves were completely filled with water and devoid of any aquatic life when they were first discovered. This unusual condition has sparked speculation that they might be remnants of a cataclysmic flood. The lack of salt residue or sea life inside the caves points to significant environmental transformations over thousands of years. Archaeologists have discovered glazed clay pots within the silt on the cavern floors, dating back to the Western Han Dynasty, between 206 BC and 23 AD. This suggests that the caves were constructed more than 2,000 years ago. The exact purpose of these caves remains a topic of debate. Some of the possibilities that they're looking at range from their use as ancient quarries, a mausoleum, storage facilities, Taoist sanctuaries, water reservoirs, secret military bases, a royal residence, or a ritual site for offerings to deities and ancestors. Today, the Longyou Caves stand as a testament to the ingenuity and craftsmanship of an ancient civilization whose identity remains unknown. Despite significant advancements in technology and understanding, many questions about the Longyou Caves remain unanswered. Experts are still puzzled by the methods used to carve the caves, the purpose of the intricate decorations, and the techniques employed to ensure their stability. China has long been viewed as lagging in technological innovations by the West. Worse, it's being branded as just a copycat of existing technologies. But, much to their surprise, China is leaving them behind in terms of technological advancements. As a matter of fact, it has produced some technologies that aren't only groundbreaking, but are considered impossible as well due to its technical complexities. Let's now dive into these technologies that the Americans can only scratch their heads, wondering how it can be possible. If you've ever watched Harry Potter's invisibility cloak in action and imagined how useful it would be in real life, you're not alone. Now, what once seemed like science fiction is becoming reality in an unexpected way. Scientists at Zhejiang University in China have applied this concept to military technology, unveiling a groundbreaking advancement in stealth, the Aero-Amphibious Invisibility Cloak. Designed for drones and aircraft, this innovation is set to redefine modern warfare and strategic defense. This breakthrough is more than just a technological achievement. It carries profound geopolitical implications, shifting the balance of power and reshaping the future of warfare as we know it. What is behind this technology is the science of metamaterials. It's a category of engineered materials that manipulate electromagnetic waves in ways nature cannot. The traditional stealth technology is that it absorbs or deflects radar waves. But this next-generation cloaking system does something revolutionary. It bends signals around an object, making it appear as if nothing is there at all. The result? Near total invisibility, rendering enemy detection systems useless. How can you defeat an enemy that you can't see? What truly sets this technology apart is its unparalleled adaptability. Unlike traditional stealth systems, which are designed for specific environments, whether in the air, on land, or at sea, China's Aero-Amphibious Cloak defies limitations, seamlessly blending into all three. This level of concealment across aerial, naval, and ground-based assets isn't just an improvement. It's a game changer that redefines military strategy and reshapes the future of modern warfare. What if we could harness the power of the sun right here on Earth? It may sound like something out of science fiction, but China is making it a reality. Scientists have developed an artificial sun, a nuclear fusion reactor that replicates the immense energy-producing process of our solar star. This groundbreaking technology has the potential to revolutionize energy production, offering a nearly limitless and clean power source. But how does it work, and are there any risks we should be concerned about? To be clear, China isn't trying to recreate the actual sun in the sky, but rather the process that powers it. Their artificial sun is a nuclear fusion reactor that generates energy in the same way as our solar star, by fusing hydrogen atoms into helium. This reaction releases an enormous amount of energy, which can then be converted into electricity. Unlike traditional nuclear fission, which splits atoms and produces hazardous waste, fusion is a clean, efficient, and nearly limitless energy source with minimal environmental impact. China's artificial sun has already reached a groundbreaking milestone. It maintained a steady-state high-confinement plasma operation for 1,066 seconds, setting a new world record and reaching a temperature of 100 million degrees Celsius. This reactor, known as the Experimental Advanced Superconducting Tokamak or EAST, is one of the most advanced fusion experiments in the world, pushing the limits of energy science and bringing humanity one step closer to harnessing the power of the stars. The impact of this breakthrough couldn't be understated. If fully developed, fusion energy has the potential to provide an almost limitless supply of clean, renewable power, eliminating the need for fossil fuels once and for all. Even more promising is the fact that the fuel required for fusion, hydrogen isotopes like deuterium, is abundant on Earth, ensuring a sustainable energy source for generations to come. The possibilities are staggering. Will we reach a point where our most powerful energy source isn't in the sky but right here on Earth? Only time can tell. Robots aren't actually what you call a novel technology nowadays, but China is taking this technology to another level. They're leading the way in hyper-realistic humanoid robots. These advanced machines are designed not just to look human, but to move and express emotions with an uncanny level of realism. Chinese engineers at the X-Robots factory in Dalian are leading the way in redefining what it means for a machine to be lifelike. Their goal is to build the most advanced humanoid robots ever created, capable of mirroring human expressions and gestures with astonishing accuracy. At the center of this innovation is a major breakthrough in facial expressiveness. Tiny, precisely positioned motors embedded within the robots' heads allow them to mimic subtle head movements, smiles, and even micro-expressions with near-perfect precision. The result is a robot that doesn't just move, it reacts and emotes. As technology advances, this innovation is set to take an even greater leap forward. Engineers are now integrating artificial intelligence to move beyond mere mimicry, enabling these robots to recognize and respond to human emotions in real time. But engineers want more than creating machines capable of lifelike movements. What they want is to create machines capable of human interaction. It's like having a loyal companion by your side at all times. With such emotional intelligence, these robots could revolutionize industries like healthcare, education, and psychological therapy, redefining the way humans and machines connect. Of course, this advanced technology comes with a high price. Owning one would cost around $200,000, and the building process takes several months. Despite the heavy investment, developers believe these robots will play a crucial role in the future of human-machine interaction, unlocking possibilities beyond what we've ever imagined. Are you prepared to see a world where robots take the place of pets as our closest companions? That future may be closer than we think. A train as fast as an airplane may sound like something out of science fiction, but China is bringing it to life. Meet the T-Flight, a groundbreaking high-speed train developed by the China Aerospace Science and Industry Corporation. Already the fastest train in the world, it has shattered records by reaching an incredible 623 kilometers per hour. But China has no intention of stopping there. Engineers are now working to push its speed even further, with the ambitious goal of doubling its velocity and revolutionizing ground transportation. If successful, this could make long-haul flights unnecessary, forever changing the way people travel. At the core of this technological marvel is Hyperloop technology, also known as a vacuum train system. Unlike conventional trains that rely on wheels and tracks, the T-Flight hovers on a magnetic cushion inside a near-vacuum tunnel, eliminating air resistance and friction. This innovation not only reduces noise pollution and improves energy efficiency, but also unlocks the possibility of reaching speeds of 1,000 kilometers per hour or more. The idea of a Hyperloop train isn't new. Tech visionary Elon Musk once proposed a similar system to link San Francisco and Los Angeles, but despite the excitement, the project has been indefinitely stalled due to technical and financial hurdles. Many private companies that once pursued the Hyperloop dream have also struggled to make it a reality, gradually abandoning their ambitions. While others have hit roadblocks, China is pressing ahead, and with promising results. In a bold step forward, China is now expanding its test tunnel to an impressive 60 kilometers, a crucial milestone toward full-scale development. If this trial proves successful, the country plans to build a Hyperloop system connecting Datong to Beijing, a 346-kilometer route that currently takes more than 4 hours by car. With the T-Flight, this journey could be reduced to less than 30 minutes. For those who dislike air travel, the future of high-speed transportation may no longer require boarding a plane. If China succeeds, it won't just be creating the fastest train in the world. It will be redefining the way people move across vast distances. Rice is the lifeline of millions across Asia, including China, and any threat to its cultivation could spell disaster. From extreme weather to rising sea levels, climate change is making it harder to grow this essential crop. With food security hanging in the balance, the world must act quickly to safeguard rice production. So, how did China address it? Well, with the help of soilless farming, artificial lighting, and cutting-edge agricultural technology, China has achieved what once seemed impossible, growing rice in the heart of the Taklamakan Desert in Xinjiang. This breakthrough is made possible by a specially developed rice variety with a significantly shorter growth cycle. Scientists from the Chinese Academy of Agricultural Sciences have achieved a groundbreaking milestone in agriculture, proving that rice can thrive in one of the most unlikely places, the desert. In Hotan, Xinjiang, they successfully cultivated conventional rice in just 60 days, cutting the usual growth time of 120 to 150 days in half. Instead of relying on soil, the rice was grown in nutrient-rich solutions on stacked shelves, making the most of limited space. Artificial lighting replaced natural sunlight, allowing the plants to grow non-stop. Surprisingly, Xinjiang's extreme desert environment turned out to be an advantage. The region's intense sunlight and sharp temperature fluctuations between day and night naturally accelerate crop development, while reducing the need for additional energy inputs. After 2 years of relentless experimentation, scientists have not only mastered the technique of speed-breeding rice in the desert, but have also opened the door to transforming barren wastelands into thriving food production zones. If this cutting-edge technology can be perfected, it has the potential to revolutionize agriculture, making it possible to cultivate food in even the most extreme and barren environments. As the global water crisis intensifies, China has put forward a solution unlike any the world has ever seen: building colossal artificial rivers. The announcement sent shockwaves across the globe, not just because of its jaw-dropping scale, but also due to the devastating environmental consequences it could unleash. With 20% of the world's population but only around 7% of its freshwater resources, China faces a looming water crisis. Experts caution that if consumption patterns remain unchanged, the country could experience a critical water shortfall by 2030. As a matter of fact, some regions already have water resources as scarce as those in the Middle East. This growing scarcity could profoundly impact the world's second-largest economy. But you won't expect China to just be sitting down and waiting for this to happen. Their response is dubbed as the South-North Water Diversion Project. These gargantuan megastructures stand as a testament to China's determination to tackle its pressing water scarcity challenges head-on. With an astounding estimated cost of $62 billion, over twice that of the controversial Three Gorges Dam, which we've already covered before, this venture stands as one of the most daring and ambitious infrastructure projects ever attempted. President Xi Jinping has emphasized that the lifeblood of food production in China lies within the nation's water conservancy systems, and this massive project is pivotal for safeguarding China's food security. The infrastructure is structured around 3 main routes: the eastern, central, and western. The 2 primary routes are now complete, but the western route has stirred intense debate. Environmentalists and scientists have voiced deep social and ecological concerns, leading to significant delays. Moreover, the project has raised alarm in neighboring countries, especially India, where concerns loom over potential water shortages if the Brahmaputra River is diverted. This raises a crucial question. Is the project genuinely focused on securing water and food supplies for China, or might it also be intended as a strategic leverage over neighboring countries with which China has ongoing disputes? To understand this better, we need to go back in time when this mega project was first initiated. Northern China has long been a center of population, industry, and agriculture, but as each has expanded rapidly, the region's already limited water resources have become increasingly strained. This growing demand has led to heavy reliance on groundwater, often prioritizing urban and industrial needs over agriculture, which has left rural communities facing severe water shortages. Excessive groundwater extraction has also caused land to sink and contributed to the frequent sandstorms that sweep across the region. In response to this escalating water crisis, Chairman Mao Zedong proposed a bold water diversion project in 1952, aiming to bring relief to Beijing, Tianjin, and the northern provinces of Hebei, Henan, and Shandong. This region houses 2/3 of the country's cropland, and 40% of its population only has access to about 14% of China's total water supply. This vision is said to have drawn inspiration from his favorite allegory. The story tells of an old man who set out to move a mountain that stood between his home and the lake, the source of water for his family. Although he knew he would never see the mountain moved in his lifetime, he believed that the work he began would be completed by generations to come. Reflecting this spirit, Mao once remarked, "The South has plenty of water, and the North lacks it, so if possible, why not borrow some?" From this simple yet powerful idea emerged the remarkable vision to build an infrastructure capable of channeling billions of cubic meters of water from the flood-prone rivers of the South to the parched northern plains of China. Over the years, as the demand for reliable, clean water continued to grow, China recognized that Mao's grand vision would need to become a reality. Thus, the South-North Water Diversion Project was conceived, not only to supply the vast water needs of the eastern regions, but also to ensure that the western and northern areas have the resources needed to sustain their expanding populations. It would take 50 years before construction on this ambitious project would begin. On August 23, 2002, after decades of research, planning, and debate, the project received final approval from the State Council. Work on the eastern route began that December, with construction on the central route following a year later. Now nearly complete, the South-North Water Transfer Project is a remarkable achievement, linking China's 4 major rivers, the Yangtze, Yellow, Huai, and Hai, and directing water through the 3 main routes. Spanning more than 1,200 kilometers, this gravity-driven canal is not just a remarkable engineering achievement, it's a groundbreaking testament to the power of human ingenuity and ambition. By harnessing natural gradients, it moves water efficiently, without the need for any mechanical pumps. Managing this system is no easy task. It's a monumental challenge shaped by the vast size of the basins, the extensive distances it spans, and the accelerating pressures of urbanization, industrialization, pollution, and population growth in China. The eastern route draws water from the lower Yangtze River, channeling it through canals to the North China Plain, covering provinces like Jiangsu, Anhui, Shandong, and the city of Tianjin. This route plays a critical role in supplying water for both agriculture and industry, while keeping the canal navigable year-round, boosting economic activity across northern China. The central route, which is considered as the core of the project, transports water from the Han River Reservoir in central China to heavily populated areas such as Hebei and Henan, including the major cities of Beijing and Tianjin. This route showcases remarkable engineering, relying entirely on gravity to carry water from source to destination. To ensure a steady water supply, China implemented an innovative solution by elevating the Donjiangkou Dam from 157 to 170 meters. Both the eastern and central routes traverse beneath the Yellow River. By 2017, the eastern route had extended to Tianjin, while the central route became largely operational in 2014, with further expansions still in progress. The western route remains the most ambitious and complex phase of the project, designed to supply water to China's arid northwest, including regions like Xinjiang and Qinghai. This route would redirect water over 500 kilometers from the Qinghai-Tibet Plateau, crossing the formidable Bayanhar Mountains. This route aims to replenish the Yellow River for the eastern route and provide essential water for agriculture, industry, and energy needs in the west. But even before construction broke ground for this route, the project was met with formidable challenges, not only in overcoming engineering hurdles, but also in grappling with potential environmental repercussions and the diplomatic tensions it stirred with neighboring nations. The project's most daunting challenge lies in its staggering cost. Even for a wealthy nation like China, the estimated $20 billion, possibly soaring to $81 billion for the 2 completed routes, has sparked serious concerns. While such a massive price tag is partly justified by the project's scale and bold ambitions, it represents an extraordinary investment that carries immense pressure to deliver impactful results. Partly funded by local governments, the project has raised financial concerns among regional officials, who are struggling to shoulder the steep costs. Some have even called for compensation due to the environmental measures they must implement to support the canals. For example, Hubei, which houses the dam for the central route, faces reduced revenue because the water diversion limits the water available for local industries, including mining, which relies on the region's mineral resources. Additionally, around 300,000 people from Hubei and neighboring provinces have been displaced, further hurting the local economy. The most pressing concern, however, is the project's environmental impact, which has even sparked cautious criticism within China. Building the canals could disrupt ecosystems, leading to problems like saltwater intrusion and habitat loss. It also risks damaging wetlands by reducing river flow and preventing the sediment deposits that are crucial for their formation, potentially drying out these areas. While the project aims to supply water to drought-stricken regions, diverting water from existing rivers could create shortages for other communities. In 2022, the Yangtze River, the source for the eastern route, faced an unprecedented drought that strained power supplies in several Chinese cities. The Yellow River, another key source for northern China, has similarly run dry each year since 1985, a problem that may only improve if the western route comes to fruition. Many smaller rivers, especially tributaries, have already dried up, with nearly half of China's 50,000 rivers vanishing over the past 2 decades. The remaining rivers are often polluted, causing major problems for smaller industrial regions and damaging the local environment. Plans for further industrialization along the project's routes pose a significant risk of pollution to the diverted water. To mitigate this threat, the Chinese government has allocated just over $80 million for treatment facilities in Jiangdu, Huai'an, Suqian, and Suzhou in eastern Jiangsu province. However, estimates suggest that the actual cost could be more than twice this amount. In total, approximately 260 projects have been initiated to reduce pollution and ensure that the water along the diversion routes meets the minimum standards for drinking water. On the other hand, proposals for the western route have stirred geopolitical tensions, particularly with India. Among China's options for advancing this project is the potential diversion of waters from Tibet's Brahmaputra River to Gansu, a prospect that India has long feared could trigger domestic water shortages. To some Indian scholars, China's resource ambitions and what they see as the potential weaponization of water have become a source of deep unease. But this fear may be somewhat overstated, as only about 7% of the Brahmaputra's flow originates in China. Even if China were to pursue drastic diversion measures, the impact on downstream water flow would likely remain limited. Ultimately, although this mega infrastructure is being seen as a great leap towards controlling nature, some experts have some growing concerns about the long-term sustainability of the South-North Water Transfer Project. Some pointed out the huge maintenance costs and the risk of pollution spreading through the canals, particularly in densely populated northern cities. Additionally, the 2 completed routes may offer only temporary relief, especially if China's population continues to grow. A population increase would raise demand for crops, which would require even more water, possibly leading to further expansions of the project. In other words, the long-term viability of this massive water diversion project is uncertain, and it remains unclear whether it can fully meet China's future water needs. Yet there's no denying that this one-of-a-kind structure stands as a striking testament to human ambition and progress. From Mao Zedong's early visionary plans to the awe-inspiring engineering triumphs of today, China has proven its unwavering determination to reshape nature on its own terms. China's massive megadams are another example of its thirst for ambitious infrastructure projects. But the Three Gorges Dam, the largest megadam on Earth, has ignited deep fears among experts. Many believe this towering structure could be edging toward disaster, with the scale of destruction it might unleash is almost impossible to fathom. Check out this next video to learn more about this.